Hey everyone, it's Dylan with SeaTee Aquatics, and today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the new Trident NP from Neptune Systems. So the first thing that I would like to say about this video is we're not sponsored by anybody. All of the opinions that you're going to be hearing in this video are strictly my opinion. I've been running one of these units on the system behind me, which is our main frag system, for about a month now, and I have calibrated it. It's not as accurate as it says on the box, at least so far. But with that being said, I do have another unit right here that I'm going to unbox and get set up, and hopefully this one will be better. I am not going to be going through and showing you how to set up the unit. When you go to set it up on the Apex app, I think there's like 12 videos. You're required to sit there and watch through all of them. Once you've finished watching the video, it allows you to move on to the next step, which is another video, and it takes you through the entire setup process. So instead of wasting your time and going through the setup, I'm just gonna skip that part. We'll unbox, show you what's inside, and then I'll talk about the unit and what I've experienced so far. So to start, I'm just gonna open my knife up and I'm gonna cut this tape. All right, so I'm gonna open it up. In the box, you're gonna find a bag that has a 1-link cable, along with your drain and sample lines and a sample line holder. You'll find another bag that has your sample line filter. And then you're also going to find the Trident unit, which I'm just gonna try and slowly guide out of the box, like that. All right, so now the box is empty. I'm just going to set this on the ground to the side. Now we have the Trident, which is still in some protective packaging. Just gonna pull the packaging and throw that to the side as well. Now we have our Trident in a little bag. We can just pull the bag straight up and it will come off. So now we have our Trident unit. And on the bottom, it comes with this little reagent catch tray. This is just in case something's gonna leak. It's gonna help to prevent any of your cabinet or flooring or whatever you have around the Trident from getting ruined. Again, these reagents are caustic, so they can do some damage to stuff. They'll eat through plastics, certain plastics, not all plastics. It's just best to not have any of the reagents touch anything other than what it's meant to touch. And that's why it comes with this tray. So the Trident is just going to sit on the tray like this. And so that's all that's in the box. If you open the Trident up, just like a standard Trident, it's got your 3 caps for your reagents. But the actual unit does not come with any reagents, as the reagents are caustic, and it's best to just keep them separate from the unit so nothing gets ruined in shipping. So then I do have a box of reagents right here, which again was separate. So I'll open this up and just show you what's inside. In the box of reagents, you're gonna find reagent 1, reagent 2, reagent 3A, and 3B, which you will mix together upon putting them into the unit, and a waste neutralizer bottle. This waste neutralizer, you're gonna mix with some RO water, shake it up really good, and then you're going to put it in the special plastic container that you need for the waste. Again, these reagents are incredibly caustic and they can eat through most plastics, so you will need a separate container special for this unit. And you'll be putting this waste neutralizer in that every single time you empty it and change out your reagents. Again, so you have to be very careful when you're working with this stuff. Luckily, Neptune was nice enough to include a pair of rubber gloves in the box. Also in the box is a bottle of calibration solution. So before I start the review portion of this video, I just want to go over some quick stats for the unit. The unit automatically runs nitrate and phosphate tests once per day. You can pick which time every day it runs the test. For each test, it takes about an hour and a half to go through both nitrates and phosphates. So if you start your test at 9 a.m., By 10:30 a.m., you should have your results. It's supposed to give you a reading for nitrates between 0 parts per million and 100 parts per million with an accuracy of 1 part per million, or 5%, whichever is smaller. And then for phosphates, it's supposed to give a reading between 0 parts per million and 2.0 parts per million with an accuracy of 0.01 parts per million, or 5%. Again, whichever is smaller. With that being said, the unit is supposed to be incredibly accurate. And I say that because, unfortunately, this unit has not given me any readings within its accuracy range. This unit, obviously, I haven't set up on a tank yet, but the tank behind me has a Trident NP on it, and it's been running one for a little over a month now. And unfortunately, I have not got any readings that match my HANA checkers that I use on every tank every single day. It is honestly pretty far off too. It's more than 5% on either nitrates or phosphates, or more than the 1 part per million or 0.01 parts per million. Specifically, the phosphates is what I was looking for this unit for, to get an accurate reading of. And the tank behind me, it reads 0.00 for the phosphates every single test, every single time. And unfortunately, that's not the case because I use my HANA tester and I get different readings depending on where the phosphates are at. If I'm feeding heavy, my phosphates go up. If I start feeding not so much, the phosphates start decreasing, which is what I would expect in this tank with the amount of corals that I have. And unfortunately, it's not doing the job. So I hope that over time, maybe there'll be some improvements software-wise where we can get an update and that this will read a little bit more accurately. But as far as it goes right now, it's not. And I think part of it may have to do with the calibration solution. So this is my second con that I'm gonna go through. The calibration solution does not have the values for nitrates and phosphates listed on it. It is whatever values Neptune has decided that it is, but you can't actually input it. When you go to calibrate this unit, you put the sample line in this bottle and you press start. That's it. You can't calibrate with another solution. You have to use this bottle from Neptune. And again, it's not accurate. So I can't even try and recalibrate with my tank water and say, hey, phosphates in my tank are 0.06. Test it and calibrate to that. Can't do it. It's always reading 0, always. And that's a big problem for me. So I'm gonna set this unit up on another tank. I'm gonna get it running. I'm gonna wait a few days before I calibrate it, just like I did with this one. But as of right now, unfortunately, I'm not hopeful for this device. And the fact that it can't actually measure accurately the two things that it's supposed to be measuring accurately is a major, major, major fail in my opinion. And after 30 days of using it, it should have corrected itself or at least come somewhat within range, but no, it's reading zeros constantly is not helpful. It's just not. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this unit. I'll give an update if at any point it gets better, but as of right now, all I can say is do not waste your money on this device. It's not worth it. Before I close out this video, I do have one more quick update. I went to install the Trident NP on the apex for our main display tank. Unfortunately, upon plugging in the Trident, the apex threw a whole bunch of errors and then went offline. After going offline, I tried to troubleshoot the issue, but unfortunately, I was not able to solve the issue. And I cannot get the apex to come back online. Luckily enough, I did have an Apex A3 on a tank that didn't necessarily need the apex right now, so I was able to take that apex and put it onto the main display tank, as the apex on that tank is much more critical. I've now spent a total of about 3 hours resetting up the apex for this tank, and I finally have the Trident NP initializing on this new apex. I went on the Reef to Reef forums to see if this problem has happened to anybody else, and it seems like it has. And the solution that Neptune has is exactly what I did, to replace the old A2 apex with the new A3 apex. It's not necessarily the solution that I wanted to hear, go and spend more money. But at the end of the day, the problem is solved, and now the Trident is initializing. Hopefully, once this Trident is done initializing, I'll be able to run a nitrate and phosphate test, calibrate it, and it will be much more accurate than the one that's on the tank behind me. But we won't know until I get it running. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications to join us on our journey through the sea.